Good morning to a beautiful day 163. We seem to have no one on site this morning. It's 9:05. Guys on price. They can come and go as they please, obviously. But these carpenters are meant to be here whacking away. These guys don't normally turn up till 9, half 9 anyway. But yeah, for some reason, these carpenters are not here as yet. They're on a price. They can come and go as they please, as I said. But they're up against it, which means they need to be here early. Cracking into this. So won't go massively into detail on yesterday because we obviously already covered it, but they've got 3/4 of the inside covered over, but they still have a third to go. Plus they've still got the outside boxing. Hi Beckles, how are you? They've got the outside boxing to do as well, and the 5'4" overhang as well that's going to come on the front here as well. So quite a bit to be done, but no one is here as yet. The externals have also got to be done on the front by the other carpenters. So the carpenters are over here, started the front of the house. They've done the first half. They've got to do the outside 4-foot boxing along the front and down the sides halfway. And then these guys have got to carry on halfway to the front, or we call the back, sorry, to the back. And then they've also got to do the 5.5 foot overhang. Acros are all in, but they're not tightened and straightened, etc. So, but they're in to hold the roof up. One of the carpenters who's coming for the weekend, he's here, but everyone else is not here as yet, which is unlike them. Rebar boys, they need to get up there and start getting stuck in today. So they're behind. So there's a couple of them up on the roof already, as you can just about see. So there's one man up there starting, so they've got to put the beams in, the 4 beams all the way around. I don't think they're in at all. So they've got to put the 4 beams in, and then from those 4 beams, they come across with all the actual roof rebar. And then obviously to do the usual, they've got to smock it up in the air, tie it all together, etc. So they've got this part of the roof here behind me. They've got this part nearly finished. They've got to do this bit, obviously this whole roof here, and they've got to do the roof over there, and they've got to get that done by Tuesday morning. I'm saying Tuesday morning, we're pouring on Wednesday, but if you tell them Wednesday, they'll still be doing it Wednesday morning. So we're trying to say Monday stroke Tuesday to everybody. So a lot to do. But it can be done if they all focus and get their heads down and work as a team, that's for sure, and obviously arrive. So fingers crossed they're going to be here. Pedro's in today, labourer. You little bleating bit yourself out working hard, bless you. But yeah, no, Pedro's here, Tyson's here, Smithy's here. I'm not too sure on the labour in front who else is here. Anthony's here, Yellow's here. Come on, Yellow, how are you? He's here. Who else we got over the road? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rebar boys in this morning. So that's good. They're going to push that. What else? A carpenter's sitting there waiting for his team to turn up. Beckles obviously is here as always. Other than that, the guys are actually putting the scaffolding down the front of the building. Sorry, the back of this building. So they've obviously done the 4-foot overhang here, which is going across. They've done that side. They've now got to do this side and the back. So they need scaffolding around the back to get up all around there, because this is nearly 20 foot off the ground. So they need scaffolding around the back to do the same here. And they also need scaffolding around the front to do the same here. So they'll do part and move it, part, move it. Other than that, that pretty much is where we are so far. So Anthony is benching as we speak. He'll obviously carry on benching around here this morning, so he'll do the bench over the other side, and probably get benching around the front as well, but obviously there's no pipe work in that yet. The pipe work needs to be drilled into the manhole in order for the benching to take place, so he's going to have to wait for that pipe work to be done by the plumber. Hopefully the plumber will start coming here at some stage today to try and start getting the hot water, the mains water run into the building, because that has been disconnected when it unfortunately went through the mains in the driveway with an excavator. But that was just a temporary fix anyway. The mains needs to be run all the way down this side of the building, has to come all the way around the back and then all around here and come into the building that way. So he's basically said he's going to give me a materials list, and we'll start getting that ordered in so he can start pressurising the system. On that note, just your heads up, we always pressurise the system just in case anything goes wrong. So if a pipe gives way or someone drills through them by accident, you can obviously see what's going on. But with no water pressured in at the moment, we don't know whether everything's good or bad. So I need that pressurised sooner rather than later. So I'll ask him to do that this weekend if I can. Other than that, yeah, we're going to try and build a plan. This is all about Wednesday pour. So at the moment it's roof, rebar and pour. So we'll see how today goes. Okay, we're at 11:45. Let's have a quick look where we are and how we're getting on. So out here, we've had ply delivered, although it's the wrong colour, it's meant to be red. We've had orange, but anyway, that's been delivered. Concrete mixer is going. So benching has taken place. More benching has taken place. Steps are pretty much finished, waiting for the rebar boys. Rebar is going on the roof above. Beam is being made for the front. Outside boxing is going on. Forwarders boys are actually finishing off the boarding upstairs, which is great. So everybody's busy. Everybody is busy. The boys are getting the boarding upstairs. Here comes the ply sheets. Tyson putting his back to test as always. Fair play to him. Some wood we start from here. So that's obviously going down. The guys here are going to have to actually put some 4x2s on the front and drill through, because all of these have got to have the threaded rods again, because these are 4-foot size. The concrete's big, a lot of pressure, so they put 4x2s all the way along and then drill through the 4x2 and bolt on the other side as well. So I've asked them to use the shorter lengths if they can, but then they're going to have to start using 20-foot lengths and drilling big holes. They're all 1/2 to 3/4 inch as well. So as you can see, all of these conduits coming through this beam, they're going to do the same thing on that side, but hopefully not so many. Boxing's already been made up anyway for the front, so I'm waiting for someone to give me a price on boxing that, because that's got to be done next as well. What else we got? So we're concreting the bottom. Oh no, we're not. They're concreting the actual boards. And Pedro is one of his also his other hard job. Pedro, you got yourself a little bungalow.
Yeah, healthy again.
Healthy again. He loves the Hilti. Okay, and then Jeff's here with the rebar boys, just looking at how we can design the beam. So we're actually the actual the slab going over here, the concrete slab, is meant to go from literally this side all the way over to this side, and it's meant to go from this column here to this column here, and it's going to be 40 foot by 40 foot. So we've decided to reduce it to 30 feet, and obviously we've got an overhang coming on here, the same height of the house all the way along, which is a foot wide. Above that there's going to be another foot, and then we've got the concrete roof coming over. So we're now looking at what beam we've got designed to go in here, and in here to try and support that 40-foot span. So what we've decided to do is we've got inch steel, so we're going to put some inch steel at the front, we're going to put some inch steel at the back and run that over, and then we'll have 1/2 inch steel at the bottom of that, and then we'll have a smaller beam here. So there'll be a 4-inch slab with a 2-inch beam in the middle, and then there'll be a 4-inch slab here with a 4-inch beam at the back and a 4-inch beam at the front, and then we'll have a 4-inch concrete roof going over. So they reckon that should be enough to support the span. My concern is it is 40 feet span, so that's a large span with a bit of a sag in the middle, but they're saying it should be okay. So I need to speak to the engineer to make sure that is 100%. I mean, obviously here is going to be blocked right up as well, so that does reduce the actual span to about 35 feet, but obviously that isn't coming out here, so it's only on one end. But anyway, that's their job. They're going to look at that. The main aim at the moment is making sure that we have enough lead and material to ensure that the wood platform and formwork is installed upstairs. We need to be pouring this on Wednesday morning. We're booked in 100%. So all of the outside formwork, all of the inside formwork has to be complete. It's got to be done. And all of the jacks, as you can see, they're all a bit loose, so they've all got to be, the lines have got to be pulled, and the tensions have got to be put in to ensure that when the concrete comes in and the weight comes down, there is no sag in the roof. That's really, really important to get right. So yeah, well, Saturday morning, we've got Sunday, Monday and Tuesday to finish off both buildings. The concrete company have said I won't be able to do it, and he's going to buy me a drink if I do. So I've already sent him my request, because we will bloody do it if it kills me. On this side, this beam here has actually got to be bigger because you've got to come up to house the roof. So at the moment they were going to take the beam to here and then do some starter bars. Well, now they've agreed to put a larger beam in, so that's got to come up another 12 inches. And they'll have to do the same thing on here as well. So on the beam itself, it'll come up by 12 inches. And then obviously this roof is going to come out of there as well. So you're going to have a roof coming out from the steels, and you're also going to have the upstand roof coming across for the overhang as well. So it's going to be reasonably complicated, but simple but complicated. So fingers crossed. We're at the stage now where all that's got to be bared in mind and done now, so that when the concrete's poured, the steel is already coming out. So you're technically future-proof on what you're going to be doing next. So yeah, that's where we are so far. So that's coming along nicely. That one, that's pretty much done. I mean, I think they've still got to put the formwork on the other side, but they're not far off finishing that. This, they're nearly finished with the roof itself. Then they've got to do the external formwork that goes on the outside as well. And then obviously the overhang, so it's again 4-foot sheet plus a cut, and then the fascia itself that goes up, and then obviously the acro all the way through here, making sure that's all up and held up. So nearly midday, and plenty more to be done.